Not every love story ends with goodbye. Some end with realization. The moment you finally see someone for who they truly are, not who you hoped they would become. Now, this is the story of a woman who loved so deeply until one night forced her to choose herself.
I feel like I've known you forever.
Maybe that's what connection feels like. Easy. Safe. Familiar.
So, at this point, the gentleman was really attentive. He listened. He made her feel chosen. And Maya, who was so overwhelmed, believed that she had finally found love. Now let's see what's going to happen in the next scene.
You didn't call yesterday.
I was busy. I don't know why you worry too much. Just don't worry, I am okay, alright?
Love sometimes makes excuses for disrespect. And not because the heart is blind, but because it is hopeful. And Maya explained away the silence. She told herself it was tired, overwhelmed, distracted by life. She convinced her that love meant patience, that understanding meant enduring what hurt quietly. Each unanswered call was wrapped in excuses. Each delayed message was forgiven before it was questioned, because love whispered promises louder than doubts ever could. She ignored the heaviness in her chest. She silenced the small voice asking uncomfortable questions. Because when you love deeply, you don't want the truth, you want reassurance. And so she waited, not for change, but for proof that the love she believed in was still real.
I've loved before, but never like this. With him, I don't feel invisible. I don't feel like I'm too much. I finally feel enough. And I promise myself not to mess this up.
She loves me. And that scares me. Because loving someone means being accountable. And I'm not sure I'm ready for that.
I don't need perfection. I just need honesty. When you shut me out, it hurts more than any argument.
You are overthinking things.
So, that was the moment she started feeling alone. Not because he left, but because he stayed without truly being present. He was sitting right in front of her. His eyes met hers, but they didn't see her. His voice answered, but it didn't connect. And in that space between words, Maya felt the distance grow. She realized that loneliness isn't always about being by yourself. Sometimes it's about being with someone who no longer reaches for your heart. She smiled to hide the ache. She nodded to avoid another argument. She swallowed her feelings, convincing herself that silence was safer than conflict. But deep down, something broke quietly because being alone in your own space hurts. Yet being alone in someone else's presence hurt even more. And in that moment, sitting across from the man she loved, Maya understood a painful truth. Love doesn't disappear suddenly. It fades when connection is replaced with distance.
How can someone say they love you, yet make you feel like you are asking for too much? Seriously. I don't really understand this.
So one night, a night that seemed like any other at first glance, the lights were bright, the music loud, the laughter all around them. Everything looked ordinary, safe. One moment, a single heartbeat in time that would change everything. It wasn't a fight or a revelation whispered in anger. It was subtle at first. A look, a tone, a word overheard, a fragment of a truth she never expected, never imagined. One truth, a truth so sharp, It cut through every memory she had of him. So heavy, it pressed against her chest and made breathing feel impossible. It was a truth she was never meant to hear. A truth that shattered the illusion. A truth so sharp it cut through every memory she had of him. So heavy, it pressed against her chest and made breathing feel impossible. It was a truth she was never meant to hear. A truth that shattered the illusion she had held onto for so long. That one night, in that one fleeting moment, her world titled. Her trust cracked. Her heart began to see clearly. And for the first time, she realized that love alone could no longer protect her from reality.
I gave you honesty. I gave you patience. I defended you when people questioned you. Tell me the truth. Was I ever enough?
I never meant to hurt you, you just have to believe me, Mara.
But intention does not erase pain. No matter how much someone claims they didn't mean to hurt you, no matter how many times they say, "I'm sorry," no matter how loudly they proclaim that love was their goal, pain still lingers. It seeps into the quiet moment, it hides in the spaces where trust once lived. It echoes in the unanswered questions, and in the night spent replaying what could have been different. Good intentions can't undo broken promises. They can't fix the words they cut deeper than knives, or the silence that made you feel invisible. Intentions, no matter how pure, cannot repair a heart that has been wounded. She learned this the hard way. She realized the love without respect, without honesty, without true care for her heart could never shield her from the consequences of his actions. Because sometimes it is not the absence of malice that defines the relationship, but the presence of accountability. Intentions alone will never heal the scars left behind. Let us see how this.
I was confused. I didn't think it mattered. I thought you would understand. I just don't know what to say to you right now. I am deeply sorry, Mara.
Love doesn't confuse you, Ethan. Rather, it commits.
So that night, Maya understood something powerful, something she had suspected, but never fully admitted to herself. It was not just about broken promises, or the silence, or the betrayal. It was something far deeper, a truth that hits her like a quiet storm. Love without respect is not love, not the kind that lifts you, protects you, or makes your heart feel safe. Love without respect is hollow. It masquerades as warmth and affection, but underneath, it is fragile, empty, even dangerous. It is attachment, a desire for possession disguised as devotion, a clinging to someone not because of who they truly are, but because of who we wish they were. Maya saw it clearly now. She understood that the late night excuses, the half-hearted apologies, the words that sounded like love but carried no weight, they were never love. They were chains. Chains made of habits, fear, and convenience. And in that painful clarity, she felt a strange freedom because understanding the difference meant she could finally let go. She could finally love herself enough to walk away, to no longer confuse attachment for affection, to no longer accept being treated as option. Love, she realized, is not just about how much you give. It is also about how deeply you are valued, honored and respected. Without that, everything else is just empty gestures.
I love you. But I love myself more. And I refuse to stay where I have to beg to be chosen.
I didn't think she will actually leave.
So, at this point, Nathan had realized his mistakes, but it is rather too late. So sometimes people often realize value after loss, not before, not while they still have it in their hands, but only when it's gone, when the space it once filled becomes painful, empty. They remember the way it felt to be understood, to be seen, to be cherished. They remember the quiet moments they took for granted, the laughter, the comfort, the warmth of someone who truly mattered. And suddenly, every small kindness, every act of patience, every word spoken with love becomes a memory they cannot reclaim. They remember what they ignored, dismissed, or assumed would always be there. It is only in absence that we measure the weight of presence. Only when we cannot hear the voice, cannot feel the touch, cannot see the smile, do we understand what we truly had and how much it shaped our hearts. Loss teaches a lesson no words can prepare for you. A lesson that love is not just a feeling, it is a gift, fragile and fleeting. And sometimes, the moment we fail to honor it, it slips quietly away.
I didn't lose love. I found myself.
It is very obvious that she loved him truly, with every fragment of her heart, with every quiet hope she held onto, with every ounce of patience, forgiveness, and believed that love could conquer all. She believed in him the way someone believes in sunlight after a long storm. She trusted him with her laughter, her tears, her dreams, even when the shadows of doubt crept quietly into her mind. She held on to love, thinking it was enough. Until one night, a night that stripped away illusions, a night that revealed a truth she could no longer ignore, a night that showed her that love should never cost your dignity, that love should not ask you to shrink yourself or to settle for being less than you deserve. In that moment, clarity arrived like a sharp, bittersweet wind. She realized that loving someone does not mean sacrificing your self-respect. It does not mean accepting betrayal, excuses, or emotional absence. It does not mean holding on to someone who does not value the very heart that beats for them. If this story touched you, if it stirred the quiet corners of your heart, ask yourself, would you stay hoping for change? Or would you walk away, choosing your words over the illusion of love? Because sometimes the hardest choice is also the most powerful. Sometimes walking away is not giving up. It is rising to love yourself in ways no one else can, rising to remember that hearts you give is precious, rising to remember that the heart you gave is precious and it deserves to be cherished, honored, and respected always. Thank you for staying tuned till the end of this video. I hope this teaches you a lesson. Thank you for watching.